Hello again. Not to be confused with Moses, I'm not holding the tablets of the law. This is a book that channeled through me. I've referred to it before, Keys, Love Letters from God. I call it by the short form Keys. There are only a few of these in existence, but I wanted to share this with you.
Show the front again. I'm going to zoom in real quick.
What?
Show the front of the book again. I'll zoom in real quick. Okay. It's December 26, 2018.
Okay.
It's the introduction to Keys, and then Robert's going to read the first one, which is called Faith.
Okay. This actually is the dedication. It's very brief. It says, "From my Son on the cross, it has been said that I offered the world a love affair. Not so. I promised marriage. The proposal still stands. God." Okay. And this is the intro. Actually. To a troubled, frightened world, I give a reminder that I care. How do you talk to me? This one you have down pat. Many of you talk to me all the time, and in one form or another, you all do. Even your action and inactions are conversations between us. It is the listening that is the real problem. Talking to me you can do, but listening to me and for me, you are sometimes afraid to do. You fear listening because what I may say might not be what you wish to hear. I can make no guarantees about that except to say that which I wish for you is the best, most abundant, most fulfilling, and happiest life possible. It is neither my will nor in my ability to withhold any good thing from you, nor is it in my power to take anything from you. For one, I do not take, and two, I have no power. I'm going to break here for a minute and explain something before people start saying, "What? God doesn't have any power?" God is power. If you have something, it could conceivably be taken from you. If you are it, hey, end of story. There's no argument, period. He's the power of love. Actually, I often refer to God as he, she. All I can do is to offer you the opportunity to remember who you are. The world suffers from amnesia, and I am the author of sanity. Sanity, my beloved, comes from remembering. What is it you need to remember? This one is a simple one. I am love, and you and I are one. This is the stuff of which heaven is made, and love is the relationship in which heaven is shared. All else are just so many lessons of remembering, you know, the things of which worlds and lifetimes are made. I began it all with you, and when it is all completed, it will be with you also. You will notice that I use the word completed and not ended. I never end, as neither do you. You are my son, my vision of myself. This is how you are created. This is how you are sustained. But vision not shared is vision blurred. My vision is that of completeness, also called wholeness. This is all I have to offer because it's all I am. I'm really quite simple. So are you if you choose to be. Complexity, however, is the road to sleep. Simplicity is awakening. I do not care what you think of me per se. It is what you think of your brother and your sister that is most important, for this is what you think of yourself. In the final analysis, it is the way that you think of yourself and of me as well. For you and I are one and the same. This work is a gift from me to you because I do care. It is a collection of letters in the form of keys to the kingdom which is rightfully yours. I wanted to take time to stop you in the midst of your busy schedule and say I love you, because I am love and so are you. In my eyes, you are quite lovable. I invite you to see the same about your brother and sister and yourself in your own eyes. In the pages to follow, we will rediscover the meaning of humanity, and we will do it together. Know that when you are reading these pages, that I am reading them with you, sharing in the wonderment and celebration which you will feel. Understand, you are invited, not forced, to take part in this process. I am the author of love. You are the author of history. Together we may compose a loving history. I want you to know that nothing you or your brother and sister could do could ever change the way I feel about you. You are incapable of falling from grace because I am incapable of doing so. The heart of humanity, my beloved, is innocence. And I am the gift of innocence given to you in your brothers and sisters' eyes, for that is where you must find me. I offer you a living relationship with me, God. That's the intro. Trying to get over to the first actual letter is called faith. Faith and fear are both forms of perception. One perceives truth, the other perceives illusion and is therefore delusional. One is eternal while the other is unworthy and suicidal. Faith is simply the commitment you make to truth. Fear is separation in all of its forms and irrationalities. In faith there is freedom. In fear there is bondage. I tell you, there are no alternatives beyond or in between these two choices. Either you love yourself enough to have faith in the perception of truth, or you hate yourself enough to worship fear. You simply cannot enter into any situation with the attitude of not caring. The term, I don't care, is a blatant lie, for it is a lie against your very nature, my very nature. First comes the perception of reality, the truth, and then comes the commitment to it, faith, in any and every event and deed and thought. The decision is yours until you make it our decision. Faith and fear are two separate perceptions of equal strength. Only their quality differs. One begets heaven, the other leads to attack, separation, and guilt. Given any situation and any set of events and conditions in regards to yourself and or those around you, the right of choice is yours. This is what it means to be an individual. Separation and individuality are not the same. You must choose to be hurt or offended given an experience of any kind. Likewise, you may choose to know the truth of your ultimate invulnerability, as well as your brothers and sisters' innocence, even in the face of adverse situations. Any experience is simply the chance to choose which perception is valid. Validity is not based upon expedience, but on worthiness. Judge not anyone or any event, lest you condemn yourself to more fear and separation. Simply state facts based on worthiness or of a deed done or a thought expressed. You cannot judge the deed done or the words spoken without judging the doer and the speaker and condemning yourself. Deeds done, words spoken, are either worthy of the doer and receiver of those deeds and words, or they are not worthy. Curse neither the day, the dark, nor the doer. Instead, see the light of innocence in all, whether it seems deserved or not. Innocence is not earned. It is eternal because I am. To fail to see innocence is to fail to look upon me. Sooner or later, you will look, and I will be standing there smiling with open arms. And that day you will see your brother and your sister's innocence as your own, as mine, because it is. Faithfully yours, God. Should we wait till...
You want to comment on it or anything?
To me, I mean, These things, you can take them as standalones or you can take them as together where they link one to the... I have to say, if I had a PhD, which I don't, I have a Bachelor of Arts. If I had a PhD, I could not have put something together like this. I have a good mind, don't get me wrong, but I couldn't have done this. 3 years later, after the first 3 letters came through, a friend and I got together and we picked up the progress and went on. After a couple of weeks, my friend said, "Why don't you let him speak through you?" And I said, wait. You let God speak through you? Are you? I said, "This is what they make padded rooms for, people." And he said, "Well, we both know you're not crazy, and what's coming through is amazing. If the quality of it seems to change a little bit even," I said, "we quit the process completely, it ends." He didn't want to agree, but he did. That day, I had to go into one heck of a deep altered state, just to calm down enough. And then God began speaking through me instead of writing. Same process. As he would be talking, I would be thinking, okay, the next sentence should be A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And at the same time I'm thinking that sentence, he's speaking a totally different one. It's like there's 2 different minds at work there. That's the way keys came through in about 3.5 months' time. There is, and I don't know of another word right now to use, there is a sanity in this work like I've never seen in anything else. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to be exposed to a course called A Course in Miracles. It's phenomenal. Probably one of the best pieces of literature we have on this planet at this time. From a spiritual standpoint, it really does get people to transform themselves. It takes about a year to do it. Keys gets you to transform yourself by the time you reach the end of it. I've had people read it, call me the next day and cuss at me, even while I was at work. "Damn you, Bob." I took a copy of Keys home. This was back when I was doing self-publishing with just Xeroxing. And I thought I'd read, 1 or 2 letters and say I read it and put it down. But I couldn't put it down. It was like God was talking to me directly, personally. I was up until 4 a.m. reading because of you. And after that, they would be different. Even business decisions that had been put off for years would all of a sudden, within 2 weeks' time, those decisions would be implemented. I saw one young man, after he read Keys, he normally had a chip on his shoulder against every kind of authority and against life and the world in general. Squinty-eyed, the whole bit. He read Keys, and the next day he comes over holding the book like this to his chest. And his eyes are totally different. They're not squinty and angry. They're open and relaxed. He said, "You're not going to believe this. I got a ticket on the way to your place. A cop pulled me over and gave me a ticket." And I said, "God bless you." And he said, "I really meant it that way." And I told him to have a good day. He said, "I can't believe those words came out of my mouth." He said, "That's not normally what I'd say to a cop." Well, a matter of weeks later, he contacted his stepdad, whom he didn't get along with, who had offered him a chance to go into business with him, and took him up on his offer. You see, Keys is not magic, it's a miracle. It gets you to change yourself. It gets you to remember who you are, simply by reminding you that you already know. There's nothing new in here, nothing new at all. Maybe a different way of presenting it, but nothing new. It simply calls to you to remember what you already know, and life's different after that. So I hope this will do for you what it's done for others and for me. As a result of reading Keys, I actually dealt with certain problems in my life. I've already told you on one of these sessions that I'm gay. I actually got to where I could deal with that, where before it was a battle with myself about it. I decided to declare peace and unconditional love instead of war. I don't know how else to put it. I hope someday that this book will be published. I'm not 100% certain that it'll be published in this world at this time. It may well be after I'm long gone, and it may be after humanity has to make some really rough decisions. Perhaps it will come along to augment or fulfill the heart of people's religions by giving a relationship instead of a religion. That's what Keys promotes. A relationship with God as God. The relationship of wholeness. That's what it's all about. It gets you to redefine what humanity is and to redefine yourself. I hope you'll join me in that adventure. Soon we'll do another one of these. But for now, that's a lot to digest. Godspeed.